Hi, welcome to the quiz. You will be presented with multiple choice questions, each displayed on screen for a short time. Please make sure to attempt answering all the questions. Quizzes help us to reinforce our knowledge, identify areas where we need to focus more, and improve our overall performance. Taking quizzes can also help to increase retention and make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. With that out of the way, you can answer along on quizalto.com. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. What is the purpose of the AWS Database Migration Service full load operation? Data backup. Real-time data replication. Data compression. Initial data migration. What is the recommended method for monitoring AWS Database Migration Service tasks? Implement third-party monitoring tools. Use Amazon CloudWatch metrics. Manually monitor database performance. Refer to AWS support for task status. What is the primary benefit of using AWS Database Migration Service for continuous data replication? Ensures real-time data availability and consistency. Reduces data encryption overhead. Automates data validation checks. Optimizes network bandwidth usage. What is an advantage of using AWS Database Migration Service for heterogeneous migrations? Convert the database engine automatically during migration. Improve the query performance of the source database. Reduce the risk of data corruption during the migration process. Increase the storage capacity of the target database. How does AWS Database Migration Service enable users to test database migrations before executing them? By encrypting data during migration. By scheduling automated backups. By disabling network connectivity. By creating a task and running it in test mode. What is the function of the AWS Database Migration Service Task Database Endpoint? Define the source and target database connection details. Optimize network traffic. Automate database provisioning. Encrypt data in transit. Which database migration strategy does AWS Database Migration Service commonly use for large datasets? Batch data migration. Incremental data migration. Parallel data migration. Sequential data migration. What is the significance of AWS Database Migration Service task states? Encrypt data at rest. Provide visibility into the status of migration tasks. Deploy automated database backups. Optimize server performance. What is the primary function of AWS Database Migration Service task settings for data mapping? Encrypt database data at rest. Automate schema conversion during migration. Optimize network bandwidth for data transfer. Customize how data is migrated from source to target. What is the role of the AWS Database Migration Service Replication Slot? Provide a continuous connection between source and target databases. Optimize database performance during replication. Limit the amount of data transferred during replication. Encrypt data in transit. What is the benefit of using AWS Schema Conversion Tool in conjunction with AWS Database Migration Service? Performs load balancing. Converts schema elements between different database engines. Optimizes network routing. Automates server provisioning. What is the significance of using AWS Database Migration Service replication slots? Assigns unique identifiers to migration tasks. Automatically scales compute resources. Optimizes network bandwidth usage. Ensures data consistency during full load. What is the benefit of using the AWS Database Migration Service task settings to specify table mappings? Customize how tables are migrated from source to target. Load data into the target database faster. Optimize query performance of databases. Automate backup processes during migration. What is the purpose of the AWS Database Migration Service logging settings menu? To optimize server performance. To configure logging options for migration tasks. To schedule server backups. To manage network routing. What is the purpose of the Amazon RDS for SQL Server task data page during an AWS Database Migration Service task setup? Configure network settings for the migration task. Encrypt the data in transit. Select the migration type. Specify the data to be migrated from the source database. What is the outcome of using the AWS Database Migration Service validation feature on a migration task? Identify potential inconsistencies between source and target data. Automatically tune database performance settings. Encrypt data during data transfer. Reduce the migration duration. Which service can be integrated with AWS Database Migration Service to monitor and track the status of database migrations? Amazon CloudWatch. Amazon Inspector. AWS Config. Amazon Elasticsearch Service. What feature of AWS Database Migration Service allows users to track and troubleshoot issues during the migration process? Automated diagnostics. Task logs. Predictive analytics. Chat support. What is the purpose of the AWS Database Migration Service Task Assessment Report? Encrypt data in transit. Automatically manage database backups. Optimize query performance. Provide insights on migration readiness. What is the role of the AWS Database Migration Service task settings in a migration operation? Encrypt the data in transit. Define the source and target database endpoints. Specify the schema for the data migration. Optimize database performance during migration. What databases are supported for migration by AWS Database Migration Service? MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL Server, SAP ASE. MongoDB, Cassandra, Redis, Elasticsearch. DynamoDB, Amazon RDS, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Aurora. SQLite, Couchbase, MariaDB, DB2. What is the purpose of the AWS Database Migration Service Replication Task menu? To automate database backups. To optimize network routing. To configure data replication settings. To manage server resources. What is the recommended use case for the data validation feature in AWS Database Migration Service? Verify data accuracy post-migration. Perform schema conversion during migration. Generate performance reports during migration. Optimize the network bandwidth for data transfer. What does AWS Database Migration Service use to minimize downtime during the migration process? Data compression algorithms. Change data capture. Database encryption. Batch processing. What is the typical source database engine supported by AWS Database Migration Service for data migration tasks? MongoDB. MySQL. Cassandra. PostgreSQL. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.